Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I am Ayotunde Balogun. Coming up on the program. Nigerians react to the signing of the 2017 budget. Former President Obasanjo takes zero tolerance for hunger campaign to Benue State. And pensioners in Edo State struggle to get verified for their entitlements. We start with reactions on the signing of Nigeria's 2017 budget and what it actually means for Nigerians. In Anambra State, lawmakers say though it's coming late, the full implementation of the budget will help pick off many of the economic activities dependent on it. An economist we spoke to in Benue State, north-central Nigeria, seems to disagree with the federal government that the budget will ease the country's recession. While in Delta State, expectations are high that the budget will take care of critical infrastructure to boost the economy.
Going to be operated for about 3 months, or the usual we extend it to June next year again. So I don't truly, I think we need to address the budget process in the country from the time budget is submitted to the National Assembly to the time budget is passed. Yes, this budget was submitted to the National Assembly very late. The National Assembly should have used 60 to 90 days to finish work on the budget so that we can have significant influence of the budget on the economy.
It's not just about the hard money that is involved. The broad economic policies that accompany the budget make things happen in the country.
I'm actually looking forward to things improving in this nation because I think we've had enough of hardship, and we are hopeful that the release of the budget will at least pave way for a better naira value that would enhance earnings.
I'm sincerely hoping that they try to kind of utilize this budget to improve on our roads. I think that will go a long way to help in improving the economic challenges and some other areas we have problems in this country.
In the meantime, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, said it has begun investigation into allegations of the 2016 budget padding put forward by former chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Appropriation, Abdulmumin Jibrin, almost 12 months after. The spokesperson for the anti-graft agency says an invitation was sent to Mr. Jibrin over the weekend to come up to clarify his allegations against principal officers of the House. There are reports that the EFCC is also inviting the Deputy Speaker, Yusuf Lassun, the Chief Whip, Alhassan Ado Doguwa, and the Minority Leader, Leo Ogo. Mr. Jibrin, who confirmed the invitation to Channels Television, says it's a welcome development and he will be there today. So, the 2017 budget is already signed. But what does this mean for the man on the street? Let's talk to Channels Television's business editor, Bosun Omofai, who joins us now to take a look at the budget signing. Now, thank you for joining us, Mr. Bofai.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. So, the 2017 budget already has been signed, and we're already halfway into the year. So
Yeah.
What's going to happen? It's just 6 months left. I mean, how does this, what can this do for the common man on the street? You and me, Nigerians.
I think we already, the government is a continuum. The last spend is finished in May, and we're starting a new appropriations. The government says this time around it's going to spend a lot of money to get the economy out of recession. Now, if you look at what will be the expectations, my expectation as a business journalist is to see the areas in which the central bank have tinkered the foreign exchange market and things seems to be stable a little bit, and now move the fiscal appropriations into those areas. First, the small and medium enterprises, where you have companies employing 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 people who are needing FX. Now, the central bank has eased that a little bit. Can we get the fiscal appropriations in from the various ministries and departments to help those industries get more? Do they need roads? Do they need what do I mean by access roads? Do they need more power, stable power? Do they need tax incentives to employ more people and create more jobs? Do we also need to look into the big companies that are big manufacturers and how they can improve? And we move into agriculture as well very quickly. So the government will have to spend this heavy money, which is almost 7.5 trillion, into these very critical areas very quickly to see that the FX rate that seems to be stable and working can be supported from the government side, and make sure that things work on very quickly to create jobs, to spend money into industrial manufacturing, and make sure that infrastructure also work.
Now, already economists are saying that that there's some sort of pessimism, or they're pessimistic about the signing of the budget coming at this time of the year when we just have 6 months left. But I mean, the recession, we understand. Well, it has there is a silver lining in the cloud, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Can we really get out of it? Will this budget do that?
The Vice President says, yes, there's light out of the tunnel. We've seen a bit of what you call green shoots, as it were, in the economy. The last manufacturing index for April was a little bit gentle. Inflation forecast for May is likely to decline unless we have any major shock in the economy. But we need to fix a number of things. The cost of energy is still very high for households and for consumers and for producers. That's still very high. Transportation is still very there. Retail prices on the street, on the shelf, from bread to tomato on the street and whatever, is still relatively high relative to where we're coming from. So this needs to be addressed. So if you're running an economy in which you have majority in an informal economy, and you're using a formal economy to drive an informal economy where you have more than 160 million Nigerians that are informal, roadside sellers, hawkers, agrarian, farmers, whatever, vulcanizers, who uses the informal economy to find their daily bread and daily living. You need to spend aggressively into the social economic impact part of things to make sure that these folks can see prices trim down, their standard of living move up a little bit, and the ability to create some wealth for themselves, to send their children to school, to create a life that will benefit children, women who are pregnant, healthcare, affordable drugs at the pharmacies, and these are very basic things, school fees. These are basic things that Nigerians would want this heavy amount of money to be spent into, and very quickly, so that we don't come back in another 6 months or 12 months and we're saying, hold on a second, where did the money go? 7.4 trillion, even by today's exchange rate, is about 25 billion US dollars. That's a lot of money.
A whole lot of money.
That's a mountain of cash, if you ask me, even in dollar terms. So we need to be very strategic on how this will be spent, so that it doesn't filter away into mismanagement, into theft, fraud, misappropriations, political bickerings and political settlements. So that at 56, as we're heading into 60 years of independence, we'll be able to begin to make the strategic transition from where we're coming from into a new socio-economic order for majority of Nigerians. An economy that benefits only 10-20% of Nigerians over a 56-year period does not augur well for anyone. So the thinking around the world, from the World Bank to the IMF, is what they call financial and growth inclusion, in which you don't create a big economy of $300-500 billion GDP that benefits only 10 or 20% of Nigerians, whereas 80% still languish in poverty and social deficit. That is a big problem, and we need to use this as a plan to redress that.
And definitely, I hope the authorities concerned have listened to that, and they'll take a cue from it.
I hope so.
Thank you so much, Bosun, for your thoughts.
My pleasure.